Hello, Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. This time I've got another episode of Decent Defeats. It's episode number 14, and this time it features the Object 752. So it's 3 decent defeats in the Object 752, which is a tank which is currently earnable in the Dream Machine op, which is running, I believe, to the end of, till next month. You've got around a month to potentially earn this tank, the Super Hellcat, and the Emil heavy tank. So I thought I'd get a replay in the tank to show what it can do, and it also features another episode of Decent Defeat. So we're here on Redshire. There is no fun police in the game, which is nice. I believe there's one enemy light tank. I think at the start of this game I hadn't quite realised it's actually team destruction with the different spawns. And it's not a standard battle. So I'm actually going to try and push to get underneath this ridge, because a lot of our team is taking control of the ridge on the right hand side, and if I'm able to spot the enemy team up, I can potentially pick up a lot of assistance, and I don't have to worry about getting shot by the fun police. An enemy Falcon is just sort of full sending around the middle. We get unfortunate and derp our shot. We're going to try and get a second shot in here, and we do land one. And now we're hoping we can try and pick up a finishing shot. Now this tank, obviously, it's a 3-shot autoloader, 390 alpha, but it can be a little bit derpy. We aim fine for this enemy Falcon, but then he suddenly gets up a ramp and jumps over our shell, so we get a little bit unfortunate there. But it does get shut down by our friendly E4, and then that is the enemy light tank, who was clearly going to be a nuisance, taken out of the game. Now, because our team is sort of pushing up on the hill down the 4 line, they've taken control. I can see they've got vision down there, which means there's nothing to shoot me currently on the hill on the right hand side, so I don't have to concern myself about that at the moment. And I can use this ridge line because it does have 8 degrees of gun depression, this tank, and it has very decent armor as well. You do bounce a lot of shots in this tank, so I can use this ridge, use my gun depression, and try and get the shots in. So we've already picked up 3 pens, just over 1,300 damage. We're now on reload. It's a reasonable reload. It's about 26 seconds. But you've got a big clip there, 3 shots, 390 alpha. But the only thing I'd say about this tank, it can be very derpy. So you definitely want to run the stabs and the vents, just to get that gun handling down as much as you can, basically. We're looking now for shots. You can see there's a lot of tanks pushed around on the left-hand side. Now, at the moment, for them to be able to push around, they're going to have to eat shots from in theory, they're going to have to eat shots from the hill. So I do have protection that way. I'm going to try and use this ridge on the right-hand side to shield me from the Death Star or the S-Bar, which was on the hill, and try and look for shots where I can. But I've got to be careful over peeking, because naturally, just like our hill, they've got tanks on the hill which could punish us. We get a shot into the enemy heavy tank there, and then we get slapped in the side by some tanks that are over peaking on the hill. So it is a little bit awkward. So I swapped to the smaller map just because I want to know exactly when someone's going to over peak onto me, so I know when to duck down. We're looking to try and get another shot into this enemy heavy tank there. We do manage to pick up a couple of shots, putting us under 2,500 damage. But now our enemies on the left are starting to get overwhelmed, and the team is starting to push through, and I've also got tanks on the right hand side which can shoot me. So I'm in an awkward situation, but I'm also just kind of the main vision to our team at the moment. I'm the only person who can spot the hill, so I can't really escape. So my best bet is just to try and get as much damage as I can in this scenario. I want to try and take out this leopard, which has got behind our enemy heavy tank, our Type 5, to try and keep him in the game as long as I possibly can. We do get 1 shot in. Another heavy tank pushes in. Fortunately, we still have 2 shells in our clip, so we should be able to take out the majority of his hit points, which we do, and that's now left him on to a 1 shot and puts him to 3,500 damage. But we are starting to get overwhelmed, so I'm going to try and back up and use this ridge. Use this enemy wreck as a tank, as a bit of shield, to try and hide my lower plate. Unfortunately, I'm getting shot by this Dragon when he's over peaking. I'm just trying to keep my frontal armour facing the majority of tanks, because in theory that Dragon should get punished when he peaks me. Unfortunately, it's not happening, but the enemy team does have shots. I'm going to try and deal with this, get rid of this heavy tank in front of me now. Thankfully, I've got that ridge shield in my lower plate, so I managed to block his shell and get a full clip in, putting myself on to just shy of 5,000 damage, and starting to rack up the assistance damage as well. now that obviously I'm being the vision for my team. Unfortunately, Dragon overpokes again and gets another shot in, and again doesn't get punished, which is a real shame because obviously my friendly team on the hill would have had shots onto that tank, but obviously yeah, it wasn't to be. And I am now put in an awkward situation because there's a few enemy aviaries on the enemy team. All they've got to do is just splash us. Yeah, they don't have to aim, and then I will be taken out of this game. And my armour is going to count for nothing against that aviary. So I'm trying to stay safe. It's now a 6 versus 11, but the enemy team still haven't managed to push all the way around because of our guns on the hill. So I'm just going to try and do, do as much as I can basically. Try and get a shot into the Death Star. Don't fully aim it because, yeah, I don't want to eat a shot to Death Star because that would, end my game pretty quickly. And now I'm backing back down, to try and use this wreck because again I'm just trying to keep an eye on tanks who are going to potentially push around and get shots in. That's why this wreck is coming really helpful to us. So thank you to the enemy Falcon there because that has that's coming really handy because also when you're behind this wreck, the enemy team's looking at the flames and looking through the flames can also be a bit awkward at times. So it's now a 6 versus 10. It's still winnable though. I need to keep my tank alive in order to do so and hope for a bit of good fortune. But it is still possible to win this game. So I'm trying to poke up and light the enemy tanks on the hill. The Dragon's keeping us spotted while we do so. I suspect there is stuff covering the Dragon, so I do have to be careful. But then this Dragon takes a shot, pulls back down, and essentially we're just trying to spot the enemy team. Basically, I want to spot the team on the hill, catch them out, and try and take out some damage. There's a Type 5 pushing around on my right. Again, that will be a problem because obviously they'll be able to splash me, but it's quite slow. He's not there yet, and hopefully he's hesitant to do so because there is guns on the hill which could get shots. Now I'm thinking the enemy team are going to push around the left. They still haven't already got all the way round. We've only got one friendly Type 5 on the corner which is holding those tanks back. He's doing a good job stopping and preventing them considering he is outmatched there. We're hoping we can get a shot into the side this Type 5. We do squeeze one in, get back down as quickly as we possibly can. We just go straight onto the reload because I want to have a full clip in case the enemy team push. I don't want to be wasting time. I'm going to need a full clip in here. So we're back onto reload. Now we're trying to wait for this reload to go in. We have got this back now to a 6 versus 9. So the scoreboards have evened out. We've got 5,000 damage, just shy of 3,000 assistance, and we're going to go again to try and poke this hill. We spot the enemy S-Barn, so we know he's no longer on the hill, and we spot the Death Star there over on the right. So now we know they're not on the hill covering them. The enemy Dragon, which was shooting us early, gets spotted, and I just managed to squeeze in this shot and take out that tank, which is fantastic, putting us onto 6,000 damage, bringing it down to a 6 versus 7. Now I'm thinking this game is a lot more balanced and we should be able to pull this back, but then this is a problem with the enemy aviaries. Just full sends over the ridge, nothing I could do to prevent that, and just splashes us. They don't have to aim, they don't have to pen, they can just splash us for 600 health regardless of your armour. So that is a shame, but that is it. That is the game we play, and that is the end for the first replay. Unfortunately, obviously we do end up losing this one, but let's just skip ahead to the scoreboard and I will see you in a bit. Okay, so unfortunately we couldn't obviously get the victory, but we do get 1 kill, 6,000 damage, 3,000 assistance. Only a first class because we only really got 1 kill, and obviously don't get as much XP for a loss, but still a decent game, and you can sort of see what this tank can do. But we've got 2 more replays to come, so I'll stop rambling and I'll see you in a bit for the next replay. Okay, so here we are for replay number 2 on Cliff. This time again there's no fun police, which is lovely, and we are also top tier. So we've got very good matchmaking for us. So loading up the game at this point, I'm thinking, I could have a good game here because there's no fun police. We've got good matchmaking. There's going to be a lot of tanks which will struggle to pen us. So far it should be a good game. So I'm going to try and push to the middle ridge at the start. I thought about going into the bowl, but I just didn't really have enough support in order to do so. So it's probably wasn't a good idea to avoid that. and obviously I don't have to worry about getting shot by the artillery, so it's not going to be a big problem using these ridge in the middle. But as I approach, I think I wonder if I've got the opportunity here to actually just push into the bowl and take these tanks out. And it's probably not a great idea, and I kind of got halfway there and thought this is probably not smart because Leopard just got 3 farms. If I do that, I'm end up throwing my tank away, and because I made that little decision at the start, I end up losing hit points which I wouldn't necessarily needed, lost. Had I just gone straight to this position. So the start of this game not ideal. Lost a hit point without really doing anything in return. Well, an unnecessary loss basically of hit points. So we're going to try and use this ridge in front of me. Try and use my gun depression and see if we can get a few shots in. Like I say, this tank is derpy, so you don't really want to be missing your shots. So I'm trying to fully aim them, and unfortunately now I should be able to get a few shots, but our friendly TVP was trying to get some shots in, so it's sort of preventing me from getting any in. There's the derpiness of this tank. We do get one into the Freedom, but the first one, it misses, and the second one I just snapped that one because it's about to pull back into cover. So as far as starts go, this has not been great. We've lost majority of our hit points, and we've only got 1 pen. Albeit it is a high roll. It's not. It's been far from ideal as far as starts go. But we're just going to keep going, and we're going to get reloaded, and we're going to go back and see if we can get any more shots in. Our friendly tank, unfortunately, our Skoda flips there. See, there's the derpiness of this tank. I aimed for that shot there, fine shot, but unfortunately it just derped. So we only get 1 shot from a clip there, and we're going to pull back now and just wait, because I can see this Tiger 2 pushing around on our left. Got to be a bit careful as well. The Leopard on the top right hand side. Where I am now, the Leopard can't. Well, we could get shots. We'd have to completely overextend, and in theory, you should just lose this tank for doing so. So he's not a big concern to me, but he is getting a lot of shots into our friendly teammates, and I would like to deal with him if I can. So I'm going to try and push to a location now. Once I'm, so I can potentially shoot the Leopard, but also get shots into this Tiger 2, who's going to be in the open to us. We should be able to get the finish in, and we do manage to do so. Pulling back down, just make sure no one's going to be aiming on us. And now we're going to try and deal with this Leopard, or to try and force him out of that position. Basically, he pulls back down. We get 1 shot into his turret. We pull back down. Now we'll see if we can get a second shot in if we can, which would put him onto a 1 shot. But now I've noticed the enemy team have pushed all the way around the back of our base and won that side. Now I wouldn't normally push to the hill in a heavy tank. But I had an opportunity to do so, where I could get there unpunished, and because the enemy team have won the right hand side with quite a few tanks which are going to come behind us, I thought if I got to the hill when they pushed around to come onto our friendly team, I would be in a good position to get shots in, because being in an autoloader, if I was there at the bottom, yes, I'd get my first 3 shots into a tank. But once I'm on reload, the rest of the tanks are just going to be able to push me, and I'm going to be, I'll be killed while I'm on reload. Whereas if I'm on this hill in this scenario, they're not going to be able to do so, because I'll be able to get my shots in, and then I'll be able to reload by the time they even get up to me again and get another 3 shots off. So it's actually worked out quite well, because we have picked up 3 pens there, put us onto 3,000 damage. Unfortunately, our team have just been completely outrun in the middle there. And it has put us in an awkward situation. It's a 5 versus 9 now, and we've lost control of the middle. But because we have the hill, none of those tanks are safe if they push into the open like the C75 is doing. I should be able to get 3 shots into C75 now. He misses a shot, so I've got time to aim that shot again. Like I say, he's trapped now. He's not going to be able to avoid me getting the 3 pens in. And we do so, putting us under 4,000 damage. Now we're back on to reload again. So we're going to go on to reload, and then we're going to try and get some shots into any more tanks in the middle. There's 2 tanks which could potentially obviously push to our base, but we need to try and clear the path so we can again get off the hill and try and get back to our base, if the enemy team do decide to cap. But at the moment, I need to try and deal with some tanks in front of me. Again, there's this enemy medium stuck in the open. Should be able to get some shots in. I get 2 in. I'm looking for the 3rd, but he just gets behind that wreck, and unfortunately I wasn't quite able to shoot through the structural cover there and pen them as well. And now we're back on reload, putting us under just shy of 5,000 damage. I then get pushed by 2 tanks, but the leopard actually pushes over to kill our light. He's now fallen down, and he actually can't, he's no threat to us anymore. He can't get back up once he's fallen down from that scenario. So we just leaves us with this one-shot medium, thanks to the covering shot from our friendly team. He's shot 2, but he can get another one in. He's an autoloader, but I'm just going to push to try and deal with them. We do take him out. We're now down to 500 hit points, but the leopard shoots his and doesn't pen. We've now got the kill on the leopard before he reloads, and then we're hopefully going to try and potentially finish off this medium. We don't roll high enough to do so, but we do put him on a one shot, and now back on a reload. But our friendly light tank is unfortunately stuck, but our friendly leopard, well, the enemy leopard's also stuck there. And because that leopard's on the one shot, chances are he's not even going to be able to jump off that hill without taking a little bit of damage and die anyway. So he's no longer a threat, apart from the fact that he does keep proxy spotting us. So we are going to want to try and take out that leopard once, when we can, because the enemy team are pushing straight to that cap circle, and I really need to just get over there to defend it. But also I'm going to be outgunned, because the problem is, like I say, I'm on an autoloader, so if I get too close and they're just going to push me after, I'm not going to be able to kill all the tanks. But we should be able to take out this leopard. We take out the leopard, freeing up our light tank, but unfortunately, like I say, our light tank's stuck. He can't really seem to get off there at the moment, which just kind of leaves me in a 1 versus 4 scenario, and the enemy team are about to go straight onto our cap circle. So I need to try and find a way to get off this hill, but as we do so, as I was about to leave, this enemy medium gets spotted, the one shot from earlier. I'm just going to eat the shot to take him out quickly, because time is not on my side. I didn't want to play around just trying to wait. I just needed to take the tank out. I knew he couldn't one shot me. I was just going to hope he bounced, and worst case scenario he pens, but I still killed him. But now we're on the reload, and I need to get off this hill or I'm never going to be able to reset. So I'll try and go the most direct route I can, because time was against me. Unfortunately, I get lit before I get off the hill, which is a real problem now, because the tanks at the bottom will have shots just like that Rex there did, and he takes us out, brings us into the game. If I would have just got down a little bit sooner, I wouldn't have got detected. Well, if I did get detected, I would have been in a safer location to get behind the ridge. But ultimately, with that freedom being there, I wouldn't have time to kill the freedom and get the resets, which is a shame. But we do still have a good game, and let's just get to the scoreboard to see how we got on. Unfortunately, you see the enemy team are gonna cap out. So yeah, it was a weird game. I've never really taken the hill in a heavy tank, but it was just a situation which occurred. But we do end up getting 5 kills, 5,500 damage, ace tanker, high caliber, and over 1,000 assistance. But one more replay to come, so I will see you there for the final replay. Okay, so here we are for the final video. We are on Canis, and there is one enemy light tank, one enemy fun place, and it is a tier 10 lobby. So we're on the south spawn. We're going to push up to the sort of middle right hand side at the start, see if there's any tanks sort of full sending in the open, so you can get any early damage in, work out what we spot, and then work out what we can do from there, basically. I like to take this location at the start, to be honest with you, because quite often you do get tanks which either full send in the open, and you can get shots on them, and I'll then potentially just like this enemy light tank here, sort of full sending out. If we can try and catch a tank like that out and get rid of them, then it will be a good start to the game. But then I also like to potentially push up when we get to this position to spot the enemy camping tanks on the hill, depending if I'm going to have cover. If I've got no one that's going to get shots or cover us, then it's not really worth doing. But our friendly team have pushed up quite far on the right hand side, which has kind of made me want to do this to then create the second angle. So straight away we spot a few of the camping tanks on the top of the hill. Now they either need to back up now or just eat shots off of me, and that does mean we're able to sort of push them off to stop them shooting our friendly teammates, basically. And now we're looking to see what we've got more to shot. We've got the bat chat there, which we've got to be careful of. We don't want to get clipped out by the bat chat, but we are keeping them detected. The enemy light tank is going to run. We want to try and get one in before he gets away. We do squeeze one in, what puts him on to half health. We're not able to try and get there We're not able to get the final shot in, but we should, in theory, be able to get a pen on this Gouge, because his turret's not looking at us, and we just pen the side of his turret, and that's a decent start to the game. 3 pens, and still got all our hit points. We're going to go back onto reload. And now I don't really want this back chat to push while I'm on reload, because obviously I want to get shots in before we get to our friendly teammates. He does actually manage to push though, and I'm not able to get any shots into cover. So in that location I can't shoot the back chat at the moment. But if the back chat's going to be in a position to shoot me, then I'm going to get hold down, and obviously if they can shoot me, I'll be able to shoot them. But at the moment, the back chat's more concerned with our friendly tanks on the right hand side. But this M103 who's shooting our team, I'm hoping to try and poke round, because he's a little bit exposed there, so I can get some few shots in. We managed to pen 2 into the cupola. We're trying to get the third one in through that big cupola of the M103. Unfortunately we hit, but we don't penetrate there. But we still managed to take any shots in return. And I'm going to go back onto reload, because at the moment this game's looking pretty well. We're 3 tanks up. We've got fairly decent map control. We've got a little bit of control over the town. We only have a few tanks there, but it's enough to know, get vision basically. But the enemy team is starting to push through the middle. So I'm thinking about turning her back, but then this enemy light tank does go out on a crazy run again. We get 1 shot in. We're looking to see if he's going to give us an opportunity to get the finishing touch in and take out the light tank. Looks like we will have a chance, and we managed to get that shot in, which is massive. We take out one of the enemy light tanks, and we're still 3 tanks up at this point. We're looking now to see what we can do. I'm thinking about turning back basically and dealing with the tanks in the middle, because I'm going to start to lose opportunities to get shots in here. Don't want to stay here too long, but we thought we'd just be able to squeeze a kill shot into the M103. But there's the derpiness of this tank. Obviously you don't fully aim the shots, then you do have a big chance of missing. And I didn't want to wait long, let that aim in anymore, because obviously the M103 turned this turret, I might not penetrate. So we're going to go back up now to try and deal with the tanks which are in the middle, because I don't want them to come round and then shoot us in the rear when we're trying to fight the other tanks. There is an enemy TVP and an enemy medium there. We get 1 into the TVP. We're looking to try and get 1 into the other medium tank. He's trying to evade our shots, but we do at least squeeze 1 in. And then this enemy heavy tank misses their shot. Now the heavy tank on our right is in a position I need to deal with, and I'm going to need to have a full reload to take that tank out. So we're going to go on reload and hope by the time I get there I'll be loaded and I'll be able to take the tank out, because if we do lose the town, which is looking like we might, could potentially happen, we're going to need a position to be able to fall back in, and we're going to need to make sure we deal with this tank. So we can eat 1 shot and take out this tank, but our friendly light tank has gone in, which has turned the tank around, and now we should have rear shots into this tank. It's not going to be paying attention to us. We go round, we get 1 in, leaving him on a 1 shot, looking for the kill. We do get 1 in on the kill, but now we have lost the town, and we've got this 1 M103 in a position in the middle. I can't be fighting the stuff coming out of the town and have this M103 there. I need to get rid of this M103. Thankfully for me, backs up just enough so we can squeeze that shot in and it goes true, picking up the kill. Which leaves us to be able to deal with the town, but I'm a little bit concerned because there was a TVP here. I don't want the TVP to come round behind us and take us out, so that's in the back of my mind at the moment. We've also got this enemy Legion, which is, we're not too sure if he's going to come behind us, so we're going to go back up just to make sure that they're not creeping their way behind us here, because we only really want us to try and deal with 1 angle if we can. The enemy Legion then just full sends out, which gives us a window of opportunity to take the tank out. We get 1 in, we're looking for the finish, hopefully we can try and finish this off, and we do, and we take out the tank, sorry, the pattern, sorry. And that, it's still fairly even on the scoreline. The enemy team have won the hill, but we should be in a position, won the town, we should be in a position to shoot them. We actually then spot the TVP on the right there, which gives us the information we need to know that the enemy TVP is not obviously going to come from behind us, and we're going to try and wait for a reload to see if we can get any cross shots in. We do get lit as we poke. We now see a T30 on the right hand side. I'm thinking he's by himself, but as we put ground, it's not by himself. There's an enemy T28 there, And this is where the shell comes in a little bit derpy. We missed the first one, the second one misses as well, and in the third one it just turns and we don't get that shot in it either. And now we're getting full sent by these tanks and we're on a reloads. So this is not ideal scenario. We get pushed by a 2-shot T30 and Avery, which does Avery things. T30 pens, Avery just derps us there. Thankfully he doesn't full pen us, but yeah, we're not in a good spot right now. I need to at least take out one of these tanks. I'm going to try and take out T30, trying to make him, you know, bait his shot so he shoots. We get one into the track. He then does shoot, so we know the T30 shot. We get the finish. The T28 pushes. We can at least finish this tank as well, bringing it back to 3 versus 2, which we do. But we then get pushed by this full health medium tank, and there's nothing we can do to stop this now. We're on a reload, and that brings us an end to the video. So again, you know, another defeat, but I thought I'd do something a little bit different. This just shows you the new tank which you can potentially pick up in this op which is running at the moment, the Dream Machine. You can actually earn all the tanks which are given away. There's 3 there's 3 World War II tanks and 1 Cold War tank. But yeah, that's it for the video. So thank you so much for watching. As always, we get 6 kills, 5,000 damage, high caliber, and about 1,000 assistance. But yeah, thank you for watching and happy tanking.
Enemy in sight. Hadouken!